I got to turn my camera on first, though. Ladies and gentlemen, I double-checked. The microphone's on. I forgot to segue to the camera, though. Last week, it was audio. This week, I forgot. I was so excited that I didn't forget the stupid mute button on my soundboard that I forgot to actually segue to this. So, welcome to a Technically Speaking Wednesday, 8 p.m., 10 a.m. in our Queensland office. This is Technically Speaking live, and all my audio is on. I think everything is good to go. I'm double checking right now. So, such an amateur because right now I just went over to YouTube and I can hear myself. So let's mute that noise. Oh boy. It's on somewhere and I can't find it. I literally cannot find where this is playing right this second. Oh, Lord. Oh God. Somebody help me. Is it that one? Oh, is it over here? Let's see. I'm going to turn this off. I don't actually know if this stuff's going to work. I'm going to bring in stats. Stats, I can hear myself. And I don't know where I have it turned on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's me. I don't know where it is.
Turn off the TV.
I don't know what it was. I muted it. I didn't know what was happening. My God, what is happening right now?
Well, I will say.
I will tell you this.
I will say that
I've closed everything, and I have no idea what we're talking about on today's show. So go on.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But first, I want to say I got your notification on Twitter.
Oh.
I got your notification on my laptop. I got your notification from YouTube on my cell phone. So it's all good.
Okay, so it's working.
Now, speaking of notifications, I want to make a quick plug here because in exactly 24 hours, my sister will be celebrating the latest anniversary of her 21st birthday.
Oh, wow.
So if anybody hanging out there in the chat or watching the video wants to wish my sister
a happy 41st birthday. 41st birthday.
41st birthday.
I think she's like 42.
I don't think
she's aging
watching,
well.
My parents are. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Real well.
Look, I'm telling you right now, she looks phenomenal for 45. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I know. So anybody who happens to know my sister or just wants to give her some really weird shout outs, hit me up on my socials, or if you happen to have my cell phone number, give me a shout.
Happy 50th birthday.
I will convey them to my sister at the appropriate time tomorrow.
Happy 50th birthday. Happy 50th. You've aged gracefully. Wonderful. No crow's feet, crow's nests, whatever they're called in your eyes. Phenomenal. Happy birthday. She is going to kill me for that one. She is literally going to kill me for that one. We got a really interesting show that I'm still trying to pull up the notes for, but I was singing this song just a moment ago, so I'm going to lay a little lyrics on you, and I'm going to swallow this mic, so be advised. Parental discretion is advised. Always and forever, each moment with you is like a dream to me that somehow came true. I'm telling you, that's not bad. For a chubby dude in Ohio, that's not bad. Say it. Stats, say it for me.
High into mediocre?
High into mediocre. On a level of 0 to saltine, how salty would you be for listening to that?
Oh, no. I listen to you sing and talk and pontificate all the time. So, anything that gets me away from the day-to-day doldrums of getting up, showering, working, and then rinsing and repeating ad nauseum for the rest of our lives.
Let's go to
I'll listen to you all day.
All right. Well, let's go to the chat. Hey, Saturday Night Tech Fights, the Don King himself. Welcome, my friend. If I could English, I'll let you know. Tuna Tech, Jason, I cannot wait until you get the Surface Duo and the Fold 2 and the Pixel 5 and, well, let's be honest, you get all the phones. Gabriel, my friend, welcome. Alex, welcome. Tuna Tech says, today's special guest is the Surface Duo that I've had for a month. I'll be honest, I'm super disappointed they did not send me one. I love the idea of the Surface Duo. All these videos are coming out today, but we're going to talk about that in a second because there's one thing all the videos did not do, and I think MKBHD's video really did it justice when he said why. Yes, Miss Sheila, the look on Stats' face when I said happy 55th birthday to his sister, she is going to hate me, as if she doesn't already. I have not. I can tell you for sure, haven't. I wouldn't lie. I just wouldn't tell the whole truth, and I have not had it. Lighters out. He says. See, I have it. Woo! I still got it. So let me do it again. Take time to tell me you really care. And we'll share tomorrow together. Always, forever. Sorry. You just walked away. You straight up walked away. You're like,
I went to get a beer. If you're going to be singing the whole show,
up,
I need to start drinking.
I've just moved the window. I'm going to close you. I'm going to bring you back. Bring you back. I don't know how I'd even do that. All right, how do I move you? I'm going to put you in a small window right here. So you're in a small window right here. I don't even know how I did that. I literally don't even know how I did that.
I'll take it. I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, welcome. Okay, so let's talk about this Surface Duo. So a lot of the big tech YouTubers today got the Surface Duo. Now, one thing I will say is I love the idea of the Surface Duo. I made a video about this just a few weeks ago, specifically saying, Microsoft, do me a favor. Do not give up on the Surface Duo because I do feel the Surface Duo has a place. Now, this is driving me insane. I can't do this. There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm watching the delayed feed of the window, and you keep moving it around.
I can't do it.
It's very distracting.
So the Duo, I really truly believe it actually has a place in kind of smartphone lore. It's going to be way more successful than like the Red Hydrogen. That phone I wanted so badly to work, but it didn't, and that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. So the Surface Duo, a lot of the big tech YouTubers, MKBHD, let's see, Dave 2D, he had it for about a week or so before that. And then Michael Fisher had it today. Now, one of the things that's the most interesting is they were allowed to show off what it looked like. Now, this happens to be a Magic Trackpad. This is, I just freaked some people out. They're like, oh my God, I bet he got it. I didn't. This is actually a Magic Trackpad from Apple. But everything based on what I'm hearing is it's a little bit smaller than this. And so now I'm looking over here on the TV. It's like, but it really resembles a lot like this. So roughly about that same size. They were allowed to really showcase the hardware. Like they were allowed to show you what it looked like. But they were not allowed to show you what it looked like powered on. And I thought that was very telling, like very telling. So they were allowed to talk about what it looked like, how it's all glass. There's how it doesn't have any wireless charging or anything like that. It was all glass on the back, no camera bump or anything because all the stuff is on the inside when you unfold it. They said unanimously, everybody talked about how much better the lenses were, or not the lenses, but the hinges. The hinges were incredible on it. But none of them were allowed to actually power the device on yet. This was just a first impressions. first impressions without the software side of it, which I thought was really interesting. And my guess, and MKBHD said it best, is probably because it looks phenomenal. So like it is way up here in terms of the way it looks, how it feels, how super, super thin it is. Actually, one half of it, so one half of the screen, is actually just a little bit thicker than a USB Type-C charging port. That's how thin it is. It is remarkably thin. But no one was allowed to showcase what it looked like powered on. And MKBHD said it's basically because you start out way up here with how enthused you are about the device, and then bringing it down based on the software experience, the huge bezels on the inside, probably some camera quality, probably the battery life is a little suspect. That's what they say. I don't know how true that actually is. And everybody's talking about how they're using last year's chipset with an 855. Look, the Pixel 4a is using a 730 chipset. By all intents and purposes, a significantly less powerful one than like an 865 or an 855. Can we stop for a second and just go, it's last year's model, so the 855 is going to suck? No, it's not. It's not. And stop it.
Well,
stop it right now.
And from a development cycle, they started building and programming and assembling these last year when that was the top of the line model. So the fact that a chip manufacturer has come out with something else that didn't fit with the build out specs that Microsoft had in the pipeline before COVID hit, probably. Why are people getting so upset over 855 versus 865?
It's tech YouTubers. That's what I've determined. It's mostly tech YouTubers that are like, it's like the pixel peepers or the spec hunters, where they talk about how if you're going to spend that type of money, that you should be getting the latest and greatest. And while I understand the point that they're going for, I am more interested in the experience. I'm buying an experience, right? If you can tell me at $1,400, I'm going to get a great experience, I don't have to worry about lag. And we're talking about just very small amounts of lag, if at all. You're not even going to notice it for the most part. Let's be real. They specifically made this device to be like a Surface Pro, like the tablet, laptop computer. That's why they made it. They're not going to put out a device that is slow and chugs, like just chugs through their apps for bad user experience. They're just not going to do that. Now, that would kill them.
Not if they want to sell any.
And that's what I was going to say. That will kill them. That is exactly what I genuinely mean. But my big thing out of all of this is, and see, Michael Pepper brings up a great point, because the Fold is an 855. The Fold is an 855. My Fold uses an 855, and by no means is it slow or outdated. Exactly. I was going to say, that is a terrible excuse for not buying the device. If you can tell me I have a very good user experience for $1,400, I'm going to do it. And you want to know why? The original Samsung Fold is an awesome user experience. It is an incredible user experience. I had one just a month or so ago, thanks to Jason Tuna Tech that's in the chat, and you didn't notice it at all. You didn't notice it at all. It's not a phone. It's a productivity device. That's a great way to put it. It is literally like a Surface, just in a very small, much smaller footprint. For me, that's a very interesting proposition. That's like a super, super interesting proposition, because my professional career, we're all Microsoft. I think you guys are too, in your space, all Microsoft.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's not that I'm condoning this, not that I'm condoning what I'm about to say. Theoretically, with Microsoft Teams and Skype, well, let's just say Teams. I think you can do it on Skype too. I can put a background up of my studio right here. And you know how people turn on the blur background? Because I bet you right now in Skype stats, you can go put on a blur background of your background right now. So we're going to do a little live testing.
I've tried it, but using the Skype app that I've got downloaded on my computer, I can't find the settings
Hold
menu,
on.
so.
I know I can't, because Well, you'll be able to see it when I do it. So more audio, video settings, blur. So you should see me. So stats can verify right now that I'm not lying.
Yeah.
My background is blurred. I can put any background I want. Theoretically, if I had a phone like the Duo, that's probably going to have a decent camera on it for at least a good bit of video conferencing, because I'm sure that they're going to nail that one. I could theoretically be at some sort of green space that we drive around in a very small automobile-like device, carrying around certain types of sticks, yelling some number between 1 and 4. And yeah, I could be playing golf, throw on Teams with a blurry background, have Bluetooth headphones in, and I don't think anybody outside of the blurry background moving, like as long as I didn't move around a lot, I'd be all right.
Right.
I would be okay. Yeah. And you're telling me I can get that in the phone? Yes, please. Yes, please. I will take that.
Yeah.
I will take it. Like, so
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that idea. I think what I like most about the idea of the Duo is, like you said, the experience, the novelty factor, what is more than likely going to be limited availability, just because it's so highly priced and it has a very small user use case.
Sure.
But it's just the idea of them pushing the envelope of what a mobile device, again, like Tunatech said, not just a phone, but a productivity device, a true mobile device that does so many things. That would definitely be interesting to me. Of course, I would need all of my hashtag Google apps and things that I love and enjoy to be able to be loaded on that. But as long as I can do that, I don't care about an 855 chipset.
This is a really interesting. My problem is I'm not going to pay for Microsoft apps when Google apps are good and free. I don't disagree with that, but you have to think about it. Like if you were to put this in the hands of Larry, who every once in a while pops in our show, also piles in because I don't English today, specifically mentioned that for large companies that have Microsoft, like the company that we work for, large companies that are all in on Microsoft. That's a huge population of people. And I can't tell you how many Surface Pros or like iPad Pros that I've seen where if it could just, you could do all that work literally on a phone. And I think you're starting to get to the point where that's the direction that we're going. For what it's worth, I also pay for a Microsoft subscription on purpose. Like there are certain things that I want out of my Microsoft subscription that I pay for, and I'm willing to do that. But I absolutely understand when the Google apps are good and they're free. I totally get it. I 100% get it. Oh, excuse me. Good Lord in heaven. Just real quick, I redid my desk a little bit, and I unplugged this so I could just specifically show it because I'm super kind of like stoked about it. So like my laptop is like, I'm putting my hand right on it. It's literally just out of frame. I'm now vertical. Like I set it up like this, but it's in a stand and it's all plugged in. So I have like this nice open space for like my Rodecaster Pro over here. But I also kind of miss having a monitor right in front of me because I have the big monitor right over there. So this company, WEBCAM is a 15.6 inch USB Type-C like little monitor that you just plug it in, and because like my Mac has enough power to power it and this, I can just set this up literally right here in front of me and not worry about like my laptop taking up space because this thing is so freaking thin. And I use it and it gets nice and bright, and you fold it up and literally put it away. And I got to be honest with you, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know how much it is on Amazon. I'll put it in the description after the fact, but it's a phenomenal little device. I was genuinely surprised. They're like, could you talk about it on the live show? I was like, yeah, sure, guess. Send it over to me. No, like, yeah, I mean, like, I didn't know that I needed it. And now that I've put my laptop up there, it's actually super dope. I've actually started to use it when I script, because I script like this much. I usually just do bullets. I have now set this up right off screen over here and read my bullets to where I only have to turn my head like this rather than like bend down and look and then come back up. So it's, for me, it's been great. So I'll put it in the description as soon as I find the link. I don't know how much it is. I want to say it's like, I don't know, I could look it up. I don't know, like $60 or something like that. But it's great. I actually really, really like it. So yeah. Anyway, that was my kind of running into the Duo part. I get the business side, but personally, I get it from the Surface or the Duo's perspective. I get it. The Surface has its place. Yep. I'm surprised you say that the dual screens don't do it for you because you're a Fold owner. So that surprises me, Gary. I'll be honest.
He didn't necessarily say he was a Fold liker. He just owns it.
Oh, no, he loves his Fold. Let me be clear here. That man loves his Fold. There is no doubt about it. And the Fold is awesome. Like, I loved using the one that Jason sent me. It was phenomenal. So, okay. I got to take a drink because I'm got cotton mouth. Hey, Stats.
Hey, brother.
You wanna feel old today?
Well, since I know what you're going to say, yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Oh, segue. You're supposed to act a little bit like, no, how old do I feel today? Folks, Macaulay Culkin is 40 today. 40. He is 40 years old.
Still younger than my sister.
Still younger than your 62-year-old sister.
Yep.
Dude, he's 40.
Well,
The shaving kit kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God, 40?
I guess that just goes to show that, if you and I would have had a couple of breaks, we could have made it in Hollywood as a child actor, too. We're right in that age demographic.
We'll go with that. Did you see that Elon's doing... Elon Musk is crazy.
We've known that for a while.
Pause. This one is even crazier. On Friday, I'm very excited about this. On Friday, Elon Musk is actually going to showcase his secretive neurotech Neuralink with a working demonstration. Wait, hang on. Will demonstrate a working, quote, device, which is supposed to be presumably the brain-machine interface at 6 p.m. Eastern on Friday. I will be watching whatever that is. Whatever mess he's about to make. For those that don't really know, the Neuralace or Neuralink, it is this brain mesh lace where they effectively take a really like electrode-based mesh and put it on the brain of somebody to kind of stimulate the connection between the brain and the computer. What they want you to do is an implantable device that lets you control your phone or computers with your mind. I am all for this. The company wants to connect the brain using flexible electrodes thinner than human hair that it calls threads. Current devices use stiff electrodes for this job, which can cause damage. But inserting the flexible electrodes is a much more delicate and challenging task. So they need a sewing machine-like robot to do the job. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's a little bit out there. But, with Elon, he has taken somewhat stagnant old ideas and pushed them to the extreme. So maybe the robot has a really good bedside manner and a very gentle poke when it's shoving the wires inside your brain.
Great. I'm glad you just described that. He actually says he wants it to be a LASIK-like process. It is not currently a LASIK-like process, but he wants it to be that.
Well,
it has.
Luckily for you,
the big thing he's going for, before you make a joke on me,
I'm not making a joke on you. I was actually going to offer you something nice.
What? Okay.
All right. I was going to say, luckily for you, I'm not doing anything Friday night, and I got some Rendezvous popcorn today, so I will bring that over and we can watch Elon on Friday.
I do love me some Rendezvous popcorn. And fun fact, was it 3 weeks ago when you came over and you came in your emergency surgery? I'm effectively an ear, nose, and throat doctor now.
Something like it.
Effectively. Stats called me in a fit of rage. Well, it was a fit of just pure and utter panic. Panic.
Concern.
He was freaking out. He had lost an object in his ear, the end of a Q-tip, and I had to dig it out very delicately with very highly sanitized medical equipment, and I wore masks. I masked up. I look like a surgeon. I look phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I'm trying to think of like a medical word for basically I pulled it out of your ear.
I
evacuated
the obstruction.
I evacuated the obstruction from his ear canal, which was applying pressure to his inner ear, causing him distress, anxiety, and panic.
Yes.
Okay. And then his niece sent our family, because my wife was in on this too, Rendezvous, which everyone on this show knows is like my favorite, and sent a lot. So I have, for the past 2 weeks, which explains my waistline, been eating something Rendezvous. Something. Every single day. And I'm not even sad about it. It's pork. It's like,
shouldn't be.
No, it's barbecue pork and just phenomenal. And I'll put it on anything. Put it on cereal the other day. I didn't. It's gross. But anyway, so going back to an actual medical conversation, Elon Musk is going to show something on Friday that's going to figure out what he's going to do with this thing. And he's saying that clinical trials will start in the end of 2020. Really what he wants to do, I think that they want to get involved in paralyzed individuals and those with neurological disorders. So I'm really interested to know what they're going to do with that mess.
I think it'll take probably someone with his means to advance that part of our medical understanding and our medical knowledge to make it available to the masses, much like he's done with Tesla and he's attempting to do with, SpaceX and the Hyperloops and things like that. So
I forgot about that.
I wish him well. I hope he can. I hope he can distill it down to the point where it becomes a viable product. So yeah, I'll tune in.
Did you see the LG Swizzle Wing phone?
I saw a picture of it. I haven't watched any reviews of it yet.
Super interesting idea. Its code name is Wing, which is weird. And there's a picture of it floating out there. You can go to The Verge. You could literally just go type in LG Wing, and you could actually see the device. It looks like Android Authority claims to have an exclusive video of the device being shown like on a dash. It looks like it flips out. I'm still trying to figure out. It's 2 screens when you need it, but it's built into the same phone. Effectively, like, let's see if I can do this. Effectively, it does something like this, which is kind of dope. The idea is like, oh, I want a little bit bigger of a phone. Oh, okay, cool. And that's kind of what it looks like to me, like some type of rotation. Either the screen on the top is like, I don't know how they've done it. Obviously, just seeing the video, you don't see the movement. You only see the actual thing that it's like flipped around on. Right. I'm personally super interested in seeing what that is. I'll be honest, I love a good foldable and I love really weird phone designs. I've negative interest in that. None, not a bit of interest in that.
No,
one,
I mean,
personally.
because in this case, it would for me personally, from an ergonomic standpoint and from just a design factor, from a longevity, I would rather have, the Duo or the Z Fold, just because it is specifically designed for that dual screen environment versus this one. To me, it looks like if you rotate it closed, the bottom screen will be covered up, which in my mind lends itself to things getting stuck between the two layers when it's in my pocket or in my gym bag and just scratching the Holy Spirit out of that bottom screen.
I agree with you, but did you just say a gym bag? Bro, when's the last time you've been to a gym? Not saying you're fat,
it's
but I mean,
whether or not I go to the gym. It's whether I put stuff in my gym bag.
There you go. Okay. I mean, I wasn't calling you a thing. It's like, I was going to be like, you're going to the gym? That's like a cesspool of gross.
Nope. I've been running. I've been biking. I've been doing a lot of walking. I'm trying to eat clean, but no, I have not stepped foot in a gym since
I did not eat
late
clean.
February, I think, was the last time.
This is a real quick one. I saw this. Canon cameras now allow you to back up to Google Photos asterisks. So if you go to 9 to 5 Google, and that's actually out on Google's blog space, but they say that if you are on Wi-Fi, so like if I take my camera off and I'm on Wi-Fi on the camera, it can upload directly to Google Photos, which is freaking dope. I love the idea of that. So two things with that. One, it's the Canon R5 and R6, which I'm not buying right now. Just not. And you can do really large 8K like files. I can't stop yawning. Ugh. I'm even bored of my own show. Large 8K files with that, but you're going to just suck up your photos storage space so easy with that.
Yeah.
I mean, so easy. To put it into perspective, a 4K 24 frames a second video, which is probably what you're seeing on mine right now. 4K 24 frames a second, a 10-minute recording is 30 gigs.
Wow.
30 gigs. So 8K, it's at least double that.
At least.
So you got 60 gigs. Most people get what? 15 gigs for free?
Yeah, usually.
15 gigs for free. I pay for 2 terabytes.
What is the lowest tier of Google One?
10.
Because
100 gigs.
Okay. Because
so one video.
I think in the article it said that you have to be a member of
Google
that
One
service for this to work with your Google Photos.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, then you would be able to, like you said, at 4K, hold 2 videos at a time. Mm-hmm. At 8K, you could hold one video and a couple thousand photos.
I mean, maybe some of the photos that I take on my EOS R can be 50 megs easily.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up just 50 megs. So I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I love the idea of it, but also the R5 and the R6. Yeah, right now they're not doing well in terms of their sales because the Canon cripple hammer has really got it. And then also, yes, try uploading that into YouTube. I literally don't know how people like MKBHD can do it. Oh God. Your sister's here.
They probably have.
Oh God, she found me.
Great.
Oh God, she found me. Oh, she found me. Oh no.
Make sure you go back and watch the beginning of the video there, Miss James.
Oh, she found me. Oh no.
Oh yeah, be careful. Be careful the next package you open from Memphis. It might be ticking.
Oh no. Oh no. Sorry about that, Becky. Dean, what's wrong with 50? Dean, nothing's wrong with 50. Becky's 62. Not a darn thing wrong at all with 50. I'm just saying. It is what it is. Okay, yikes. Oh, moving on.
So
Wait,
back to uploading, an 8K video.
my
I've
God.
got to imagine. I've got to imagine that the really big YouTube personalities have some sort of dedicated. I don't even know what the most up to date version of this, but a dedicated like a T1 line or something that
Sure.
is basically hardwired
Well, I mean,
into the YouTube server.
I'm sure. Well, no, I don't think it's that. They probably have the fastest internet, no question. But their machines would have to be so beefy, and I'm sure that they are. I really believe that they are. They're not running all of their stuff off a single MacBook Pro. Let's put it that way.
No,
I mean, that is what it
they've
is.
probably got a tower or something else. Although I will say, every once in a while, MKBHD will complain that whatever computer he's using to render and upload, it will crap out on him from time to time, or it will overheat, especially the first couple of times he tried to do 8K video with his Red camera a couple of years ago. So, maybe they do have the same problem as us little tech people from time to time.
I don't know. Somebody mentioned way back in the chat about caring about why are people obsessed with 120 hertz on phones. This really probably has more to do with the fact that the iPhone 12 Pro Max will have a 120 hertz display and fancy new camera modes, but it's still going to have the exact same notch that you're accustomed to seeing on all your iPhones today. So that's the first thing. The second thing is it's still going to have the same triple camera setup from before. It's going to have LiDAR, which I'm assuming that's probably going to help with portrait mode on the back, I would guess. Also enabling high-end things like 4K 120 frames per second and 4K 240 frames per second, which is bananas out of a phone. We're talking about that out of a phone. I don't really get, I don't personally care about the refresh rate. I get it. I have tried phones that have 90 and 120 hertz refresh rate. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. Like, it looks good. It's not like I gotta have that phone because of the way it refreshes. I don't care. I don't care about that personally, and most don't. I don't think most really care about that. I think people are really upset about the notch, and I also could care less about that. I don't care about the notch. I don't care about punch hole designs. I don't care about the bathtub notch in the Google 3 XL. I just don't. Like, it's after the first 10 seconds, you're over it, and it just works for you.
Again, I think it goes back to what you were talking about earlier. The only people who genuinely care about that are people who are attempting to find something wrong with a device or looking for something to complain about. Yeah. And for the vast majority of mobile tech consumers, they're going to take what they can either get or what they can afford, and they're going to enjoy the hell out of it until the next thing comes along. So
and that's my thing. We are in such a really crazy, unique, time. So let me come back to that. My man, El Jefe, coming through. Thank you so much for the super chat for the hair gel and golf. I'm going to talk about golf here in a second. If you have an Xbox, stick around because y'all don't want this smoke. I'm going to say it. If you have an Xbox, you do not want the smoke when it comes to golf. And I'll talk about that in 1 second. The idea is we are in such a cool, unique time in technology. We have foldable displays that you put in your pocket that could literally fly you to the moon in terms of technology. The specs in a phone.
The computing power. Yeah.
It's incredible. You can literally be working from the golf course and lose no productivity for meetings. I mean, let's be real. None of us really should be in meetings. But the point is I can also do things like this. Dean is not in the United States. Dean is in the UK. I mean, he's watching a show from some random dude studio, aka my basement. That sounds weird when you put it that way. That sounds a little weird. Sounds a little weird. But watching, it's just, to me, it's just, look at everything that you can do. And I could go live on my phone. I could literally go live with anyone in the world we've got to just get over this spec hunting BS and just enjoy what we have. We're seeing companies compete with one another and push the boundaries of what is possible for a headset device. I still remember when I graduated high school. This is going to age me a little bit. That's okay. Becky's still older. I had a flip phone, like a flip phone. I remember when the first Droid came out, and it was like, I can get GPS on my phone. What? I don't need to buy that expensive TomTom. Remember that? Like, I don't need to buy a TomTom. I have my phone. Dude, we can make literally TV, like way better TV grade with a device that costs $350. I remember when the first big TV came out, England to Scott's dungeon in an instant. Exactly. England. Exactly. I can go live on a device that costs $350. That's better than what they recorded Super Bowls with like 15 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. And to me, that's guys, just enjoy the freaking ride that is technology right now. For as much as the world is a complete show right now and not a good one, let's just enjoy the tech that we have. Let's stop pixel peeping and spec pushing and just enjoy it.
Well, yeah.
God.
Let's enjoy the tech that enables us, if we choose, if we have the ability, which I presume most people who are tuning into this show do, to work from home or work from a safe location or communicate with people who are physically or socially distanced from us. You know, we have the ability through our computers, through our phones, through our tablets, whatever, to reach out and connect with anyone in the world that we should so choose. And I'm willing to bet that is keeping a lot of people here in the United States and around the world a lot saner than they necessarily would be without it. Because, I mean, all of this stuff that's going on around the world is bad enough. Imagine if we didn't have instantaneous phone and video communication.
Yeah.
Imagine if we didn't have streaming services. Imagine if you didn't have the option, or other people didn't have the option, to educate your children from home, and you had to send them to a school because it's the law to send your children to school. And then you have to put their physical and mental well-being at risk. Imagine if you had to make those decisions. Yeah. But you don't, because we have the technology that is available to us. Is enabling us to do so much. Different price points.
Yeah, at doing so much. El Jefe said, Peachy in the Basement has a nice ring to it, like a shovel and a duct tape. I got to be honest with you. What's up, everybody? This is Scott. Welcome back to Peachy in the Basement, Technically Speaking edition, where the shovel and the duct tape are right over there and the lie is over in that other corner. Let's get started with today. I'm just kidding. Doesn't work. No. Yeah.
Boy.
Enables us to lie about someone's age. I don't know if you know this, Becky, but everything on the internet is true. Hair flip. I mean, Alex, good point. Thank God for the internet. Literally. And El Jefe, dude, you have the patience of a saint. The patience of a saint. And this is the big thing, is like, those headphones suck because blah, 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 blah. Do you hear music? Yeah. How about the fact that there are deaf people in the world that have never heard music? Let's get a little bit of perspective here. The idea is like, you really, really have the ability to listen to generational type music. The way you hear it is so personal preference. It really, really is. El Jefe does a wonderful job when it comes to, like, I feel like him and I vibe on a different level when it comes to audio and what he listens to. For me, it's the idea of our ears are tuned similarly. Similarly. And so it's one of those things that I really enjoy it, but also it's still my personal preference, especially when it comes down to audio. So, again, Dean, don't the spec chasers have their place, though? If they don't chase, do companies push R&D to settle? That's a very interesting perspective. What I would rather do, rather than push the specs, I would rather push the experience. Like I want a very specific experience. The Google Assistant is I was waiting to see if she would talk. That assistant, the big G, that is a very good experience. We talk about it all the time. How much better of an experience is using Big G versus Siri versus Cortana versus Alexa? Like that conversational style.
Don't forget about Bixby.
No, Bixby needs to die in a fire. Let's just call it what it is. But I would rather the people focus on experience. And that's where I think Google's done a really good job. I think Apple's done a phenomenal job of the experience. And you know why Apple's done a phenomenal job? Just open up AirPods next to an iPhone. That has nothing to do with specs. That has everything to do with a user experience. Do the specs help? I guess. But I mean, for the longest time, the AirPods didn't have like the craziest bionic chips or whatever. But the point is like when you flip open that lid and it immediately connects to an iPhone, that is a wonderful experience. And I would rather people, if the specs are required to push that experience, totally get pushing for the specs. But I have a wonderful experience, and a lot of other YouTubers have as well. And some of you here in the actual comments too, that the 4A is an awesome experience. And it doesn't have the best specs. It just doesn't. And it's because they're focusing on making the user experience that much better. I do believe you have to have specs to make the experience better, because if it was a god-awful, like slow, laggy mess, that's an awful experience, and no one's going to buy that product. So I think the specs support the user experience you're going for. That's my opinion.
And I think the flip side to Dean's argument, or I guess a corollary to it, would be exactly what Google and Apple are doing these days. They are still pushing the envelope. They are still making the top-of-the-line high-end devices, but they know that everyone that they want to buy their phones can't afford that top-of-the-line device every single year, or let's be honest, even every couple of years.
Yeah.
So they have chosen to push the envelope in a different way to basically say, here's last year's specs on this year's phone for less than half the price.
Yeah, iPhone just did that with the SE. Literally just did that with the SE, and that thing is selling like crazy.
Doing it with the 3A and the 4A, and I assume they'll do it with the 5A at some point. Is they are making damn near, the top of the line specs available to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people around the world that wouldn't necessarily be looking for a brand new phone this year, but oh, wait a minute, I can get the 4A with the amazing software, with the amazing connectability to all things Big G for $350. Okay, sign me up right now.
So let's call it a couple things. There's one huge spec monster that I thought did really poor because the experience was bad, and that would be the Samsung Ultra, not the Note Ultra, but the S20 Ultra. Had awful autofocus problems, and everybody hammered them for it. But that thing was a beast when it came to specs. That thing could fly you to Mars and back, and it was absolutely 100% just kind of like a flop when it came to, no, I can't say flop. That's really aggressive. It's still sold, but it could have sold a lot more if that experience with the camera autofocus was better. That's a big deal, especially to keep people with kids.
Right.
But also,
I mean, that's something you have preached for so many years, is you could fly to Mars, but if you can't take good pictures and send them back, what's the point?
And the other one would be is let's just get out of phones for a second. There are whole school districts that do tremendous amounts of actual education, the education of our youth, on Chromebooks. On Chromebooks that do not have the latest and greatest specs. They are not spec monsters. But because the experience is so good and they actually have the time to make a education-based experience, that ends up actually helping people be better learners. I have seen kids, this is really going to age me, I've seen, I can't say kids, young adults come out of college far more ready for the business world than I could have ever thought that I was when I graduated college. They were making PowerPoint presentations significantly better than what I could make, video-based things, like so much more, because they had that tech that they could use.
They had access to it. They had access and experience to be able to use it versus when we were in school, you had to have a computer, but I had a desktop all the way through college. I didn't get my first laptop until after I graduated college.
So Dean, to answer your question, last year's specs on this year's phone were still last year's top specs. So Apple's a little bit different because for the longest time, Apple only put 4 gigs of RAM in their phones, which was significantly behind everybody else, because there was OnePlus putting 12 gigs of RAM. So Apple, again, really concentrated on the experience and dumped a lot more money from a hardware perspective into things like the cameras, where they didn't have the things like RAM because of the way it was optimized. I actually believe that last year's specs, I mean, the Bionic chip is really where the difference is from that perspective. So the chipset that Apple has is so advanced, and it runs so well, and it has so much power that, yeah, you could get away with running like a A12. I think they're on the A13 now. You could run an A12 and it would still run snappier than a lot of Android phones. So thanks for coming, Dean. Sleep tight, my friend. It's like 3 a.m. there. I almost said something funny like elbow your wife and say, hey, they had a really good show, because I know she really likes that when you wake her up. Gabriel, I agree with you. So Viper said 4A is the top contender for the phone of the year. I got to be honest with you. Right now, it is my phone of the year. There's just so much bang for the buck that you get for the $350. And I saw it out there for $299 at a Verizon, and then they were running some special where you get that thing for $250. $250. It is a powerhouse at $250. Just a wonderful experience when it comes to that. So we talked a lot about a lot of weird things today. Really looking forward to using the 4A. It's different. It's one of those things, like, to me, it's so smooth. It's like I could easily go back to the 4XL because I miss the real estate of the screen. That's probably the biggest thing that I miss, is just the sheer real estate. But boy, that battery life, the battery life is so stinking good on the 4A. So much better than the 4XL, and I love the 4XL. Yeah. Did you check out my V60 video, by the way? Go ahead. You support your boy? You watch the video?
No, not yet.
Jeez. It's been out for 2 days. 1 day. A little over 24 hours.
I'm a little behind. Sue me.
I even had, I did some fancy editing there.
I'm going to get it.
Yeah. The people in the comments, did you guys watch the video? I'm interested to know the perspective of the college football joke that I made. See, if you would have watched it, you would have got the joke. But you didn't.
I'm sure I already know the joke. I'm just not going to spoil it for anybody else.
You don't know the joke. It was somebody actually did you film that on a drone? Josh Smith from Gotta Be Mobile pinged me and was like, did you film that on a drone? And I said, no. And he goes, what did you do? I said, I just really cropped in really far, and then I keyframed everything out to a certain building down on campus. You'll know what it is. I mean, if you know, I'm a huge college football fan. Big Ten's not playing, so. And I did promise that I was going to talk about golf, because El Jefe did talk about it, and I said, nobody wants that smoke. I am on Xbox. Gamertag. SPeachy. Peachy. SPeachy. Find me. I am playing 2K21 right now. Go ahead and challenge me. You do not want the smoke. Don't want it. I shot 57 the other day.
Yeah, I've seen him play, folks. He's after 3 or 4 hours of screwing around and figuring out how to actually win Q School. He's on quite a roll. So if anybody out there is better on an Xbox and understands the mechanics of a golf swing translated to pixels and ones and zeros, give it a shot. But Mr. Tech Rant, good luck, brother.
Oh, Tech Rant say? I haven't got the comment. You want that smoke? Okay. You got it. Done.
I'm seeing an IG
Done.
or a YouTube live stream.
Done. Gladly. You text me. You got my number. You got my WhatsApp. Hit me on the WhatsApp. You know right where to find me. But I know, and they're not in this chat, so or they're not in this live stream, so I'll say it. I know that Dan Barbara from what is he? 9 to 5 Apple. He's in an Apple site. Apple. I don't remember what it is. Doesn't matter. Another YouTuber, Dan, and then Kev the Tech Ninja, Andrew Edwards. They all have a little posse that plays that game. I still don't have that invite. Let's be honest, they're just scared. It is what it is. They do not want the smoke. Put it out there. Mr. Tech Rant says he does. I've also seen Mr. Tech Rant play real golf. Man is one of the greatest Happy Gilmore swings I've ever seen. One of the greatest. True story. Oh, God, I'm exhausted. A lot of talking today. Stats. I legit walked in and heard golf, he says. I legit walked in and heard golf. Hey, yo. Stats, where can they find you?
I am at Helix Heinlein on the tweet machine, trying to be a little more active there, get a few thoughts out of my head every once in a while. I am still, for the time being, on Instagram at Country Smith. I'm really trying to talk myself into getting off of that because Facebook is the devil, but
it's also a massive time suck.
Oh my God, I got to do something to waste time every day. So until I find something better or re-kickstart my physical book and magazine reading, you can find me on those two absolute dens of iniquity on the internet.
It is far too late in the East Coast for you to be using words like antiquity, even though that's not the word you just said.
It wasn't antiquity.
Oh, you can find me at Scott Peachy on the tweet machine, at the Scott Peachy on Instagram. Like Stats, I also need to get off of that, but I just can't. Oh my God, brother. Michael Daniels swooping in right late with the super chat. Love you too, my brother.
Right at the end of the
right
show.
At the very end, coming here. Can you come do next week's show? Bring stats for it. Text me. I think it's usually 5 p.m. I know that I can. We usually go to the farmer's market right before them, but I mean, we can go to the farmer's market whenever. And to jump in. Come on, man. You know I do the show. I love doing the show. Absolutely love doing that show. Michael Daniels, wonderful human being. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Stats, what else we got? We're just winding down here. Mr. Tech Rant, I fully admit, like I will go play. You'll probably just stomp me out, but I want the smoke. I shot 57 the other day. I'm getting much better at putting. Much better. But boy, I got to do that swing calibration on that thing. Whew. Messy. Many a times I've had that swing like, Olay. Not good. All right, folks, we are out of here. We will see you next week, next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel, 8 p.m. Eastern time and 10 a.m. Queensland Thursday in the Technically Speaking Queensland office. I still love saying that. All right, y'all. Have a good week.
See ya.